I good?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Walking around on all fours, quadrupedalism in the outdoors. Later, walking on two, bipedalism, who knew? Ardipithecus ramidus was first. They walked along the ground and climbed trees. They probably had fleas. Isn't that the worst? They were omnivores. Next is Australopithecus anamnesis. Did they have a nemesis? Not too sure, but they did have human-like ankle joints. Plus, they had the large canines that had very sharp points. They were sexually dimorphic. Do you think they could get carsick? Later, there is Australopithecus afarensis. They didn't have a very big brain. Isn't that a pain? Its face was ape-like, but its body was human-like. It used stone tools to eat meat. Isn't that quite a feat? Next is Australopithecus africanus. They had a larger brain and a rounder cranium. They were not only prey to large beasts, but also uranium. They weren't tall at all, only averaging about 4 feet tall. They had a pronounced jaw. It wasn't a flaw. They used words to talk. A common phrase was, "I'm proud to be a gamecock." There was a divide. The species Homo became bona fide. First there was Homo habilis. Had smaller canines and molars, perfect for eating fruits and tubers. They had strong chewing muscles, but they didn't blow bubbles, or did they? They walked upright all the time. They didn't climb. Ain't nobody got time for that. Next was the Homo erectus. Is that a dinosaur? They weren't carnivores, but omnivores. They had pretty large brains, but they were still pains. They lost their tree climbing ability, which I believe is the cause of their irritability. Began to use fire to cook their food, although their stone tools were still crude. The next group was hairy, large, and tall. They were the Neanderthal. Had large brains and noses. Their noses were so large they could smell the roses. They made and used clothing, but they weren't into bathing. They lived during the last glacial period. Isn't that the name of a ballad? Lastly, we have us, Homo sapiens. We're the cream of the crop. We're at the top. We're very smart. Have you seen our art? We live all over the planet. It's sometimes unfortunate. We have Snookies, Miley Cyrus, and JWowws. Can you believe we like these cows? We may have a very large brain and a hairless body, but let's not get cocky. We're still pretty sloppy.